Morning, everybody. I'll do a quick video. Been a few days, you know, not been, not been feeling great. Had a ulcer flare up in the last couple of weeks. Been some rough days. I don't know if you have an ulcer. It's not good. It's not good. I'm trying to tell my ulcer, chill out, man. The worst is yet to come. If this is stressing you out, what's that gonna be like? You know, not great. Not great. I can make with you guys. As always, we can make with you guys. But yeah, worse is yet to come. It's just funny. Like it's probably a month ago. It's been at least a month ago. Or probably 2 months ago. I saw the first reports of people going, whoa, at the end of July, second quarter, those numbers aren't looking good. And I'm afraid we're going to be in a recession by then. And, we all know it's just worse and worse and worse. And it's so great. All the Biden administration, all those people mourning, sugar, all those people, they freaking, in our view, it's not a recession. We're not in a recession. In my view, I love that. They always say that. In my opinion, it's not happening like that. Well, you're an idiot. I don't care about your opinion. They just commented on what's there. It's happening in a huge recession. I don't know how they keep saying this same phrase in a booming economy like this. We've got rapid growth going on right now. We need it to be stable, steady growth. It's just so the GDP numbers are in the negative, but they still tell us we're in growth. We're growing here, folks. Yeah. Ashley, I put the link there in the chat if you wanted to come in. I know, you probably don't have anything to say. You probably got nothing to talk about. So I'll just do it myself. On the Allen front, he's over in Houston. He found himself a veterans charity that takes care of veterans and homelessness. And we took him over to Houston. He was good morning, sunshine.
Good morning. No, man, I ain't never got nothing to talk about.
Nothing, right?
No. So what's the experts saying? What you talking about? The experts?
Well, it's funny how the left can be openly, and not even just kinda, openly dishonest about whatever they want to be openly dishonest about. Because historically, since economists have been kicking this shit around, say, oh yeah, 2 back-to-back quarters of negative growth equals a recession. Well, that's just happened to us, and everybody and Joe himself are going, I don't see it. I don't think we're in a recession. I don't think it's happening. It's real. Yeah. It's been happening. It has come to fruition. But they just change the definitions. They just change the definitions of words and go, we're not even there. Hello? But technically, well, maybe, but we're not. I don't think so. And it's just, wow. That's like, I've never seen anything like it. I really haven't. That they get to just say whatever they want. And nobody calls them on it. And the few people that do call them, they're like, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. You're a Nazi. And that's how did we get here that these fools can stand right there in front of us and just lie? And then we go, hey, that's not cool. You lied to me. And they're like, well, you just need to hush. Just hush. We're taking care of things. You hush. Oh my God. It's so discouraging. Oh,
It is.
and the great blessed news, my Madison is pregnant with her second child now.
Oh, gonna have you another grandbaby. Oh,
Expecting next March. They're expecting next March.
Oh,
Yeah. When she first got married or got pregnant with Lulu, her husband, Adam, is mixed. He's part black, part white, and some Hispanic. And he started teasing her, going, yeah, I know it's a boy. I'm named Leroy. And so he joked with her the whole time about being pregnant with Leroy. Well, when she told us the other day, I sent her a text and told her, I said, hey, you better get Leroy to bed. He got some baking to do. She was like, I know, Dad, this is crazy. She thought, it may take her a while. And she was on birth control up until, they decided to try and have Lulu. And it took them about 6 months. And so she was worried. Oh, it may take a while again. It may take a while. I think the first time he looked at her, she got pregnant again. Yeah, Kathy was like, you may be one of them fertile myrtles, man.
Fertile myrtles.
But her birth was so easy. Like 7 minutes of labor, and she was done. It was walked in and walked out like she was at 7-Eleven getting a Slurpee. She was in and out, done. Let's go. Get in the car.
7-Eleven getting a Slurpee. Where you come up with this stuff?
That fast. You can't go into 7-Eleven and get a Slurpee and get back to your car faster than she had that baby. I swear to God.
No, we're not doing that.
Oh, you're gonna get my dogs crazy. Don't get my dogs crazy. They hear another dog, they want to kill it.
No, Butter.
Oh no. Dog emergency.
It's like a freaking zoo. It's like a zoo. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Between the alternating between the two dogs. Oh my goodness. What a flipping challenge, man. I don't know how you did it with your two and all your others.
At one point I had 9 dogs. 9.
No,
Two of them were killers that could not be let loose with any of the others.
No.
It was miserable.
Well, it's something else just dealing with the two. You go around there to your pot. Go on.
Well, we're in great shape now. We got a nice, peaceful, symbiotic relationship going now. No stressors for the dogs.
That's what I'm saying. I'm hoping to find Butter at home real soon.
Yesterday, I got a company out here, and they're trimming our trees, and they're cutting down 4 big suckers that could fall and hit the house. And yesterday, they're in the middle. They're humping it, man. They're taking trees down. They're going at it, and it starts raining here. And this guy's on a bucket lift up in the top of a 30, 40 foot high, 50 foot high trees, and it starts thundering and lightning. And I went outside and I'm looking at my going, you really gonna stay up there? You're really gonna stay up there? And they finally came down there. They're like, yeah, it's raining pretty hard. I guess we better knock off. We're gonna go to lunch and we'll give this hour or two to pass. And it didn't pass till 3 or 4 o'clock. So they'll be back here this morning first thing and finish my trees up. But
finish your trees.
Oh my God, those trees, every time we have a little bit of wind, a storm of any kind, I can do a 360 walker on my house and I'm picking up these huge branches that have fallen out of the tops of these trees. I'm talking big, freaking branches. Right. And it's every time. And and Kathy just started looking around going, okay, that's got to go. That's got to go. That's got to go. That's got to go. Because if you look, they could all hit the house. We are in hurricane season, and it doesn't even take a hurricane, to have high winds and blow this shit over.
Right.
So getting them out of here. Oh, and I made the dude laugh so hard. Down the side of my house over there on our property line with the neighbor is, it's all trees real thick. So I told him, I said, right here, I lined it up and I said, just straight all the way to the back of the property, take these tree limbs out. I don't want anything hanging that direction. And he's like, okay. And I went and got my golf club and I lined up. I was like, okay, that'll be good. And he's like, what? And I said, I hit golf balls right here. And he goes, well, what if you hit the house? I said, I ain't gonna hit the fucking house. I'm hitting it that way. The house is over there. I said, I ain't hit no houses. He's like, really? I said, yeah, really. I said, this is about a 75-yard shots right here that I can hit. I told him I've also got downhill lie, flat line, uphill lie because my ditch is right there and my grass is real nice. I keep it mowed. And he's going, okay, yeah. I see it. I can see it. If you're not worried about hitting houses.
You didn't know you had a golf field in the back of your house? A golf course?
Yeah. And but right when we were standing looking west, I told him, and when I want to hit him a little further, we turned back to the west, and no, that's the south. I said, and I hit him here over my neighbor's trees into his yard because he's got a front strip that is. He opened it up, cleared it out, and planted all new grass. And these trees right in front of it, and I hit sand wedges right over the top. It's like a green right there. First time I did it, Alan's like, you're not gonna try and hit that, are you? There's no way. Right over, dropped it in. Son of a bitch! Wow. You're looking at it visually, it's ominous because you're standing there in the trees. You're gonna hit a golf ball over those trees and drop them in behind those trees. And there's a house there, and there's a house there, and there's a house there. And I'm like, those houses don't even exist. Are you crazy? And I'm hitting it straight.
How do your neighbors put up with you?
I'm very quiet. They don't even know when I'm doing it. It's just me. Whack,
right. Do you go catch your golf ball?
Hmm?
You do? You go and get your own golf ball? They don't find your golf balls?
No. No. My dogs, none of my dogs are good that way. I had a friend that had a great Labrador retriever. Yeah, that dude, man, he would fetch golf balls like that. He'd stand in his backyard and hit out into his pasture, and he'd catch most of them on the fly first bounce.
That's awesome. I love that.
That dog was a great retrieving dog, man. He had this right behind his house. He was behind the city golf course, and right behind his house was a little bit of an alley, and then it was just a slope down that went to the golf course's driving range. And it's a pretty good slope, right? He'd stand up there and throw a frisbee, and that dog would glide out around in full speed, and he caught that dumb bitch in the air 9 out of 10 times.
I love it.
More than likely, you didn't make a very good throw. If you made a good throw, that dog was cool, man. He'd take off down that slope, and he's tracking that frisbee and just perfect timing. Jump, catch it in the air. He always jumped. Perfect every time. Very cool dog. He was a well-trained dog. And my buddy, it was funny.
He had to laugh.
Those robot floor sweeper deals had just come out. In the real early stages of them. And we're sitting there at his table, and we just run out, and we've just been throwing frisbees and hitting golf balls, and the dog's chilling. He's over in his bed, and he's chilling. He's had his water, and all of a sudden, that freaking robot starts up, and starts going right at that dog. I thought that dog was going to have a heart attack. I've never seen a dog it looked like he was crying. When that thing, he was freaking out, man. And I'm like, Dad, turn it off. You're killing the dog. And he's like, it was the first time he'd ever seen the dog react to it, too. And we were, oh my God, that was funny. That was funny. We let that poor dog, he's still traumatized. I bet you this day when that robot thing comes on, that dog, oh, shit. Dogs.
Dude, wait a minute. I have to say, so we've trained Splash Dusty with a bell. We have a little bell that hangs on a string off the door. So he rings it. He's really good at it. Well, at the people's house that we go to on Sunday, they have a cowbell on the door, but it's up like by the door handle, and then we hang our little bell on there so that he can ring it when he goes out. Well, the other day when I knew he just went out and he didn't have to go, and so I didn't think he had to go. So he's in there ringing the bell, and I thought he was just playing with it. And then all of a sudden, like we look around the corner, this ninja is jumping up and ringing the cowbell with the little bell, and he's like, "Hey, I gotta go."
Help a man. Help. You set up a system and then you, the human, don't pay attention.
Hey, man.
Set up a system and I suffer. Because you think,
he started to do it just playing, you know. And yeah, I can't figure out which one it is. So we know now. Like he'll get over there and he'll start popping that thing real fast, and it'll be like, okay, now we know you gotta go.
See, your animals have you trained. You're getting better. They're training you better. You're getting there. You're getting there. Hey, my dogs have me trained. I know about just about every one of them's just demeanor.
Yeah, that's the way Butter is.
They're hungry. They don't feel good.
It used to drive Jason nuts because he'd be like, Butter. I was like, Butter has to go outside. Because he'd be like, "What are you doing?" I'm letting Butter outside. He's like, he didn't do nothing. He didn't say nothing. And I said, well, he's standing by the door, and I heard his little paws clicking over there. I'm telling you, he got to go potty. And he's like, he's got to start speaking up. And I was like, he does tell me. He lets me know real quick.
All right. Do we have to always consult you, Jason? Yeah. Aren't we 21 white and free around here?
What? Oh my goodness.
Speak up. My dog's oldest one, she's just freaking us out even more, man. We thought for sure 3 or 4 years ago she didn't have 6 months left. Okay. She's doing terrible. Couldn't hardly walk, couldn't hardly get around. It was just terrible. And we took her to the vet, and she had a couple of times she had some milk ducts clog up and get big old knots. And I knew what to do. I'd get a warm rag and I'd squeeze them and clean them out and get them clear. And then one time she had one we couldn't clear. So we took her in, and the vet goes, look, okay, she's 13 years old. She goes, got to take her uterus out, or this is going to keep happening. We never had her spayed. Right. So they do it. They spayed her and get her feeling better. And all of a sudden she's got a little pep in her step. A couple of weeks after her surgery, she's doing a little better. And then I was looking, she was whining, and I looked in her mouth, and she had like 2 rotten teeth in the back on both sides. And we took her back up to the vet. He says, well, we don't do teeth, but here's somebody that does. We took them in there. She had like 6 almost rotten teeth. Okay. Aww. Bad. Our vets, every time they get their shots, obviously our vets are not paying any damn attention to our dog's teeth. I mean, I don't think paying attention to my dog's teeth, honestly, and that's bad. I should, but I don't. And we pull these teeth. And the next thing you know, this dog is starting to run again. She's picking up the feet and putting them down, and she's all over the place. She's jumping up on laps. And now, look at her. She just roams, man. She's just always all over the house, man. I leave the door cracked. She'll go out. She does what we call mall walking. She just roams through the house. She'll walk up and just stand in a doorway. Turn around, walk out. She come in and out 3 times out of this garage door. Turned right as she got in the door and looked at the other dog's food. Looked up at me and went back out in the garage. And came she again. Looked again. I don't know what she was doing. She's a little crazy, we think. And we'll let her outside, and she'll come back in and she'll piss right on the floor. Yeah, on one of my videos, I went back and she did it over my shoulder. She walked in from that garage and stood right over here and took a piss in one of my videos. Yeah, I didn't notice it while it was happening, but afterwards when I rewatched, I was like, "Oh, look, Tinkerbell! No, come on, man,
Tinkerbell, no.
come on!" Right there in front of God and everybody.
Showing how well you obey.
Now she's just standing here. She keeps roaming around. I got this door open. I don't know why she won't go out. Go ahead. Oh shit! I know what she's doing. She wants me to feed her.
Oh, look at that.
Whoever's
See?
near, when she's ready, she'll just stand there and stare at you.
Yeah, that's Butter. That's what Butter does, man. He's got this staring thing, and he can stare into your soul.
Oh yeah, that's gonna take a second.
All them little puppies, you got to take care of them. That's hilarious. Yep. There's Tinkerbell. Oh no, she don't want to go outside. She said, I don't want to go there. Look at her slowly. She wants the food. The food's calling her bad enough. Here they all come. Now you got the whole clan of
Fred's a food thief. Fred is bad. Fred will. I guarantee you, when Fred dies the way Fred's gonna die, he's gonna choke on eating food because he eats so fast. Oh my god. Oh my god. Especially that soft food, because we feed her the little soft food cans. If he gets to it, he's done. This guy is such a pig. Kathy yesterday, she bought some and gave everybody just a little soft food mixed with some hard food as a treat. Right. I told her, I said, don't you dare put that bowl down. You got to sequester Fred. You got to put Fred outside and give him his outside, because he will plow through his and he'll be in everybody else's before you know it. And she's like, oh, okay, I know, I'll put him outside. She put him outside, gave him his, puts everybody else's down. And it wasn't 20 seconds. Fred scratching on the door. He's in there and he sees everybody's got a bowl, man. Everybody's got a bowl. What the hell's going on? Everybody finishes. I let him in, and it sounded like a bull in a stainless steel bowl. Yeah, it's shop. Cling, cling, cling. He's licking out every damn bowl. There's 4 of them. He goes around and eats every one of them. And I told her, I said, why didn't you pick those up? Oh my God, Fred. He did. It sounded like somebody was just going through a drawer of pants. Bang, 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 bang. Shit.
Oh, they're so much fun, man. The entertainment. Nobody needs television or radios, man. If you got animals, just 2 animals. Heck, just 1, but 2 of them are great.
They're hilarious. My little 7, she will not walk. If a door is just open, she won't do a paw and walk in. Every other one of my dogs will. They will push a door open and come in. She'll sit there in the opening where all she has to do is walk through until you move it a little bit, and then she'll come. But she won't come through a cracked door.
See, Butter used to do that, and then I had a cat, Shalom, that I got, a new little kitten, and I'll tell you what, that little kitten taught Butter how to open that door. He didn't know how to do it. He was scared. He didn't like the 2 edges touching the side.
He didn't like it touching. That's why she is. She didn't like nothing touching her, and then so she just won't go. She'll sit there and cry till you move. Well, cry, and I'm like, you're right there. I can see you. Just come on. It is.
The walls will be touching me. The walls will be touching me.
I know something may brush against my delicate fur, and she's got 3 inches of fur, to protect her squeezing through anything. She's so thick.
Talking about dogs, like, it's interesting. Splash Dusty, when he first came to us, when he would dream heavy, like, howling and growling and, running his little paws. And since he's been here, which we've had him for a little over a month, I just realized last night, I was thinking, telling Jason, I said, he hasn't dreamed. He's been calm while he sleeps. I haven't heard any howling, no moving. and he was his mom and dad and his brothers or 3 other pups. They were attacked by coyotes,
Ew.
and the only 2 that survived was him and his little sister. And so they slept underneath a barn. And there's no telling how long it was before we got on that they had to deal with that, with the coyotes scared of it, them coming at them. So, like, I just think it's interesting that, we've just been, I already knew this about dogs because they have feelings, but the traumatic moment,
Right.
what it does to them. I mean, I see how Butter is and his attitude and his way about things. And he's had big ones before he came to me in his life.
Right.
So I think it's very interesting. Like, they can't speak, but they experience, sorrow, pain,
Sure.
travail,
Sure. One day we will know the special connection I think there is between animals and the vibrations we get, like the comfort dogs, like dogs that can tell when someone's going to have a seizure. Just the different abilities, of sense that dogs have in particular. You know, and like you said, my dogs, I can tell right away if they're not feeling well. I can tell right away, what's going on with them most of the time. Yesterday it started raining, thunder, and lightning. 3 of them, I knew the 3 that would need it wanted to be in my lap. They don't like thunder, right? And just, I think there's something there that we don't understand because it's
Yeah.
just like those dogs that have laid there at the door for months waiting on their owner to return. Won't leave that spot, just
Right.
stay right there. And it's
Right.
like, wow. I mean, that's devotion. Humans wouldn't do that. We don't do that. They stay devoted. They stay, you know, loyal to their masters. Kathy with little old Baxter, she wanted him. She did all the stuff. Then we went and picked him up, and he, of course, because I'm home, he's my boy. And she's like, he don't even come lay with me, and he will. I tell him, Baxter, go find mama, and he's like, go find mama, and he will. He's such a good dog. He will go find her
Oh.
and lay in there with her and the other dogs for a while, and then he'll come back.
Oh.
But he stays with me most of the time, and when you can't find him, he's in my bed. That's what he does. That's where he goes.
Loves his cat.
Yeah, he's my bud. He's a good dog. He's
Dude,
smart little.
he's a smart little dog. Yeah, most of them, they are. If you give them the opportunity to be smart, they will.
Oh, yeah. When we go to Home Depot, when we get in the truck, I'm like, now you know where we're going, and they'll kick your butt out if you don't stay with me. They will. And as soon as we get out of the truck, he's right there. I can't hardly see him because he's right there under me. I have to
You
stop.
take him to Home Depot with you?
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, he loves it. He loves it. I take him to Walmart. I take him to Walmart too. I've taken him. I take him to the store and take him with me a lot of times. I've had a few people go, can't have a dog in here, not on a leash. He's on a leash. It's just you can't see it. What? And he sit down right by me. See? He's on a leash. Same difference.
He's on an invisible leash.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had to take Splat. Yeah, the mind meld.
We're on the same page here, me and my dog.
That's me and my dog. Yeah, put that W in it. I got Jason doing that. Dog.
Speaking of phonics, like I saw an interesting deal the other day. This guy was talking about like this ebonics that started on the East Coast and stuff back in the 80s. Of the blacks just totally splicing up language into incoherent babble.
Yeah.
This guy saying they're not the first ones to do this. So first ebonics and stuff was done in Europe back in the in the 40s and 50s. It started, and there was a whole group of Irish, Scottish, English that talk a certain way, like in an ebonics, and they say things, and you've heard it before, like in movies. Methinks this is no good. we think this ain't right. You know, that kind of talk where they cut out all the other words and just, and do that. And he says, Ebonics started with these people. He said, and it was just imported over there. And he said, I've seen all this stuff where, I remember 60 Minutes did a deal on it back in the 80s about, is this a new urban, thing, Ebonics? And they pushed it. Had you ever heard about it?
No, I've heard of Ebonics. Yeah. I make
you remember what I'm
fun
talking
of it.
about in the 70s and 80s when they started talking about it and pushing it and saying it was a thing. It was being imported from Europe. Just another part of the whole separation and division. Fred, see? Hear him? Dang it, Fred, don't look at me like that. You cleaned that bowl last night.
Language.
But yeah, I mean, the way they've been messing with the language.
Because if you notice, oh, go ahead.
But it's crazy where it starts. It starts in the lower income. It starts in minority communities because what reason? What's the reason why they start with those people? And it's their thing. It's not our thing. First time I heard it, I was like, why can't you just talk normal? Why do you have to use slangs and half words and all that? I didn't understand it. But they embrace it. What's the deal? I don't get it.
I don't know. Daggum Tennessee folks seem to embrace it as well, I guess. I mean, we do a lot of. You ever seen a Tennessee? I'll send you a Tennessee text message. And yeah, and brother, I ain't kidding. Not one word will be spelled right, and the way it's sounded out is exactly how it's said.
Well, those are the people that you've seen the letters before, that everything is written without the vowels. There's no vowels in it, and if you can read this, you're pretty sharp. And most of them, I can read it easy. I'm like, I read that real easy. That's real redneck right there. Most of them words that is the way it's spelled, isn't it?
All you do is yeah, you just sound it out. That's all it is. You just sound the letters out. Oh, okay, I got it. And you put the two others together, and boom.
Boom, you got a word.
What they're doing, which I noticed this a while back, man, like whenever Google Maps and stuff came out, but with the street signs and whatnot, a street sign, like we'll say Peabody was one of them. The street sign's supposed to be together, the whole name's together, but the AI, when it speaks, it has to separate it, and so it would separate it in its writing. Well, it does the same thing when we text message somebody or we're writing a message on social media. It separates words, like somehow is separated now, or no more used to be two words together, and now it's separated. It'll try to separate it for you. I fix it every time. I will not. I will not
accept my words.
But I don't know what that is.
Like the intuitive text, right? There's a lot of words that I don't know how to spell it, and it don't either. It says no other alternatives and all this, and I'm just like, you're not so smart. And then it asked me, if I need a tree trimming service after me and my wife had sat here and talked about it. So I hate that when it does that. My God! Add up.
Yeah, because that's the reminder of letting you know they're actually paying attention to you. That's your reminder. Ding, ding, ding. Oh my gosh, they really are freaking paying attention.
They are. I looked up before we went and saw Madison last time, an RV resort by Lake Glen Hubbard up here by us. And since then, I get 5, 10 freaking ads, emails about RV resorts, and all I did was a search. That was it. And now it won't leave me alone. It's like a one-night stand. It keeps calling. Hey, remember me? Hey, what are you doing? I may get back to you in 6 months. Okay, leave me alone now. All right, I'll call you in 6 months when I'm interested again. But I hate that. Everybody now they ask for an email. You got a good email address? I tell them I don't use email. One guy even said, "Well, how do you do anything?" I said, "It's very easy to do stuff without email." Are you kidding me?
How do you do anything?
There's always the old phone call, right? That
Right.
works pretty handy. Instead of sending me a 1-sentence email, we could talk.
Yeah. Right. Right. Well, how do you
could
do
send me a text.
anything?
You could write me a letter. There's a lot of ways we could communicate.
Dude, I
without
know. I called a pastor for my mama the other day. I called a pastor for my mama, and he didn't answer the phone, but it said, "This is automated text message writing voice recording. I will be recording your message and texting it to so and so." And I was like, "What?" I didn't even want to do it because of that. So I did. I didn't even know how to speak to this thing. It was like a change of speech, you know. I was like, you know. I'm like, just give me a real person. Give me a voicemail. Like
that's like the bit they've done in lots of sitcoms is somebody calling and leaving a message and they're bad at it. They're like, this is John. Yeah, I needed you to call, and it's over. Oh crap. God, call back. Try it again. They end up leaving 9 messages and never get said what they need said. Because they can't talk into a machine. They freeze up. They don't know what to say. You know? Oh god.
I know. It's the craziest thing, but it's what we're going. And with language, they're trying to teach us, you know, the language of, you know, the AI.
They're doing just like in 1984, and they are completely rewriting history as it happens and redefining words as we go.
Right.
Completely redefining things, and history as they're putting it down as we go, they're putting their version. Like Biden on this stupid speech. He's like, if you're pro-insurrection, you know, you can't be pro-democracy. If you're pro-insurrection, you can't be pro-American. And it's like, who is pro-insurrection? You know, there's maybe 100,000 people in this country that if you pushed them to it, they'd go, okay, yeah, we'll pull up arms, we'll go to the Capitol and we'll fight it out with them, right? We maybe have 100,000 that are willing to do an insurrection. But Biden's standing up there saying half of the country that don't agree with him, that's us. They make a law against us thinking that way. That's one of the bad things they want is they want honestly, they want re-education camps. They honestly want them to get people to understand more and better about climate change and green energy and how, it's going to be painful to switch over, but you don't understand how dire it is. You don't get it. Like Al Gore told us 20 years ago, by 2010, Manhattan's going to be underwater, you know? They told us all that for sure. And they were mad at the time going, you got to do something. And now that nothing's happened, they're going, see, y'all didn't listen. And it still could happen. And you didn't listen. And now you're in really bad trouble, aren't you? Haha. You didn't listen to Al Gore. Did you see Al Gore's back on the scene now?
No.
Oh, yeah. Al Gore's back out there. And
really?
And they passed a $700 billion deal yesterday that's going to give they're going to set up a green energy slush fund.
A green energy
slush fund. They're going to start funding. Yeah. If you walk up to the government and go, yeah, I'm doing a green energy company. I'm going to do solar panels or whatever. You're the right person that hands you the money. Like Solyndra, you know, stuff like that back with Obama, you know, 250, $1 million project bankrupt in 3 months. That kind of shit.
Right.
They just
I was just listening to.
They paid Joe Manchin off from West Virginia. Joe Manchin was the deciding vote, and they paid him off, and he voted yes for it yesterday.
What?
So they're going to raise taxes. They're going to be raising more regulations. They're going to set up new slush funds for them and their buddies under the green umbrella. They're just going to funnel millions and billions of dollars through to those people, and we'll never see nothing.
Yeah, did you hear the guy on World Economic Forum that was saying that we don't need animals. We just need to get rid of all the animals.
That dude said we got to get rid of them. That's the only solution. That one guy I saw said that's the only solution is we got to get away from animal-based protein. We've got to get away from it. And they're trying to push the bug proteins and stuff. And
I do.
Downey Jr. on there pushing the bug proteins. Have you seen that one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've seen it. I didn't hear about the Robert Downey Jr., but I did see. I've seen several things on the bug protein.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. has these jars of certain bugs, and he's like, "This is and this is this, and they're all protein, high protein, good protein." And you're like, oh, God, Jesus Christ. They're trying to kill us.
Fact.
They're trying to kill us.
They are.
Yeah, no more animal meat-based proteins. Get
rid of taking depleting carbon.
They do, but no, seriously, think this out all the way to the end. If this guy's honest thing is no more animal proteins, what do we do with all the cows and the chickens? And what do we do with them all?
Right.
Do we just slaughter them and eat them and not let them reproduce anymore? Just eat them out?
Right. Yeah.
No more babies being born. No more calving. No more chickens. No more eggs. What do we do about eggs?
Sounds like a perfect solution.
Do we not let any more eggs ever hatch again? But then we still got to have eggs.
Don't you know they got those in boxes and little cartons now. They got powdered and liquid. They got all the synthetic. They got the eggs.
Right. They got synthetic everything.
Dude. Oh my goodness.
Gates making sure of that. We're probably going to get this thing's probably going to get took down. The opinions expressed on this channel are not necessarily the views of Gartman Inc. and the brand of Gartman Inc. We are only opinions. We are not fact-based in any form or fashion.
That's right. Do your own research. Look it up yourself.
Do your own research. But if you think about it, those people have come out. The guy at the forum talking about the carbon tracker, the individual carbon tracker, that it's coming, folks. He was excited. It's coming. And when you eat a chili dog, man, there it's going to be like, you drove this far to get that chili dog, then you ate it, and it took this much to make that chili dog, and everything goes into it. Now your carbon footprint for the day is bink, and you drive home and it adds to it. And you know where that goes. Mr. Gartman, you can't go get no chicken. You've overdone your carbon footprint for the month.
Overdone your carbon footprint.
Yep.
You're in the danger zone. Too much carbon depletion going on, or letting go. Yes.
Just standing here, it's like I had a machine gun just killing the world with my carbon. I'm just killing everything with my carbon expressions.
Right, but that's the thing.
Isn't it crazy they want us to believe that? I mean, that's just wow.
It is.
Trees and all plants need my carbon that I expel, my CO2. They need it. They love it. They want more of it. They can't get enough.
We feed off each other.
They've proven that you pump in CO2 into your greenhouse, man, and your shit loves it. But they're telling us they hate it. They're telling us nature hates this.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Mm-hmm.
What? That is so ridiculous. We are so stupid. The first time they brought this shit out, and people were going, whoa. We should have cut it off then.
Right.
Cut it off then and said, okay, you're saying this is going on. All right. The honest group over here, we're going to watch it. We're going to be right by you. We're going to watch and see what you're doing. We're going to do the same data and see what's going on. And we know for a fact from there on, it had never been brought up again because there's nothing there. There's nothing there. Weather changes, climate changes, but we're not sitting here every time a cow farts, the weather, the clouds start spinning and, there's too much methane on Earth now. We've got to get crazy. No,
Mm.
no, no,
Mm. It wasn't
no.
made to be that way.
Stupid. We're not that stupid.
Holy God did not create creation for them to make up a machine or whatever they're doing, to remove what was naturally meant to be here to sustain us. Everything on Earth, the sun, the moon, and the stars, well, wait a minute, the plants, the sun, the moon, the stars, the animals, all that, it was made first because it had to be there to help us, to move us, to work us. And now they're going to try to remove some of this stuff. Oh, dude, the tokamaks, the artificial suns. I think. Well, okay, this is Ashleyism, but I really feel that we got something going on here. Okay, because my buddy Willow was talking about how they got the synthetic blood that they were putting in the jab. So they have this synthetic blood. Well, what is blood? Blood is plasma, and that's what they're making. They're making artificial plasma. That's why it's called an artificial sun. It's not that there's going to be a sun in the sky that everybody's going to see. No, it's a sun that they're making on Earth, and they've got two of them specifically that are really like doing it. But they're making plasma that they have to keep in a silver box. So it's like lined with silver. Dude, this plasma, that's what our blood's made of. Well, they're making artificial bodies where they got the body parts. They got the inkjet printers, where they're printing out kidneys and body parts, Okay, so basically these
3D
machines,
not inkjet.
huh?
3D printers, not inkjet.
No, it's, well, I'll have to do it again, but I could have sworn that the 3D printer is the inkjet printer.
That's what I said. Well, inkjet is like for paper. That's a style that it uses ink pods to print. That's called an inkjet printer, where there's ones that have a carbon or have a roll in them, and then ones have ink and you know what I mean? But a 3D printer is what you mean, that they can print anything they want out of materials.
Yeah, they use a silver iodide, potassium, and potassium iodide, which is also in the ink that they use to make the artificial body parts. And it's the same thing that they put in the clouds. Well, it's some of the same ingredients, silver iodide and potassium iodide, which I feel is how the Mandela effect ended up coming about. But that's just my own personal opinion as well. I don't know how that came up in subject this morning, but the silver iodide and potassium iodide, along with what they're making with these machines, working together, is just very. It all started happening around the same time that the Mandela effect started kind of like blowing up. In 2012, I believe it was. Yeah. But dude, I think they're making artificial blood with these suns.
They've been doing that for a while.
But they tell us, what are they using the plasma for? What they tell us.
And the experimentation. Jordy Rose said his next move was a AI robot that's indistinguishable from humans.
Yeah. I know, right? And they're going to be everywhere. They're going to be all over the place.
They ain't hiding it. They told us that's their goal.
Right.
It's not like it's a secret government project.
Yeah. And they're putting the artificial blood in us, though. In the jab.
Yeah, with markers in it.
Right. So that means the technology that they're so is that it's just, I've just been trying to think about this, so like is that like how they're going to get ones to be able to link to the machine, is because the blood will match the blood of the machine?
I think it's going to be a case where they do the DNA test and they say, hey, here's your DNA profile and you have this in it. That means this is what you are. This company holds the patent to that's in your blood. So they own you basically. Here's your deal. They got a patent on this that's in your DNA. They own that. They own you. I think that's where they're going.
That's
Why would
interesting.
they patent all this stuff if they didn't want to use that in the future?
Right.
To
Nice
say, hey,
toss.
you signed a consent form to have this. It says
Mm.
in there, right? My daughter, she got a deal from a healthcare company, and Alan, before all this went down, he went to Houston. He was reading it, and he says, "Hey, did you see in this? It says if in the future you get any kind of a settlement or a payout from medical malpractice, that they get 78% of it." They put that in the disclosure there when you check the little box. I agree. They put that in the fine print down there that going forward, if you're going to use us as your healthcare provider, you know, to your insurance company, you will pay us this if you ever have something from the past or going forward. We get
Oh,
the bulk of it.
wow.
You know, that kind of shit. So they've lulled us into such a place with the agreements that they're so long and they're so wordy and they're so, you know, convoluted that we just go, agree.
Right. No one reads through anything anymore.
Better
Right.
start. We better
Right.
start.
Because it's so much. It's so much reading, you know?
Better start taking your time. Better start taking your time and read. Because once we already know they have patents on that jab. And that's theirs. It's in the office. They get, you know, it's trademark names, all that. They've got all that. And once they can retrieve some of your blood and tell you, hey, this common marker in this Pfizer product, you have it. They own it. You're ours.
Dang. Oh, praise
You signed the consent.
I'm so grateful. Oh, hallelujah. I just hope he wakes more up, you know, before
When
they get further and further
they
into
start pulling out those consent forms and going, is this your signature?
Mm.
You know, yeah, I mean, I was sick. What do you want me to do?
Right. And then what's their main part, you know, like my thing is you look into it and you look into the technology part of it, you know, and why are they trying so hard to put a machine type material in your body and keep it there, you know, and it's for these reasons right here, because eventually it's going to end up where it's a controlling mechanism. It's a tool to control. Oh, was that Alan?
Think about the prospect of certain ones with certain injections have a certain frequency and certain companies own that frequency. And at any given time, they can make you think so you need their product.
They own the frequency.
Yeah. Look up like radio towers in your community. And it'll show you a list of the towers and how many different companies are using those towers and what their frequencies are that they're using. These companies, I think it's been probably 5 years ago or so. I think Trump did it. He opened up the communications deal where they can go into frequencies now that they used to not be able to use. And companies are able to lease or buy these frequencies and use them. A lot of them are like oil field for their communication to their wellheads and things like that. But others are telecommunication companies that are doing data. So yeah, look up your local towers. It should be a deal under that, and you'll be able to pull up deals. I did it at home. There's 2 or 3 radio towers near me, and I could look at them, and there's just a whole list beside the tower. Everything's color coded, and this is this company. There's Exxon and Mobil and AT&T and just railroad companies, all that are using those towers. And they have their own frequencies. You know what I mean?
So they learned how to harness it better. Is that what you're saying to me? Like whenever Trump opened it up, they learned.
MK Ultra proves they already know how to use the frequencies.
Right, but how to harness it.
Harness it and control you with it. They've gotten good, I think. They've gotten really good.
But somehow Trump turned it to where it can be. They were able to touch frequency they haven't been able to touch before.
Yep. They've been allocated to certain frequencies. It's few low, few high, but the main ones they've been kept out of. It's weird. Look into it if you're interested. I saw a whole deal on it. It was pretty interesting how and I remember immediately looking up the towers in my area and looking into the companies that were using them and seeing who all was there and the frequencies they were using, and just looked up some research on them and stuff and seeing what that was all about. Most all of them on that tower near me were like private companies that were using them for their radio frequency to their wellheads and to different, to their company trucks, things like that,
Interesting. Very interesting.
They did a few years ago open up the frequency deal. It was crazy.
Right. And see, alpha, beta, gamma, theta, delta, right? They are the first pillar. There's two main pillars of quantum computing. And whenever the scientist, whatever his name Hertz is, his last name is Hertz. That's why they were named the sound Hertz, the sound Hertz waves, the Hertz waves. But alpha, beta, gamma, theta, right? When that was one of the first pillars of quantum computing. When they found those, that's the sound waves, that's the frequency, that's the vibration, the high and low tones, from alpha, whatever the tones are for that, and goes up to whatever number, and then it switches over to beta, and it goes on up to another number, and it switches on to that, Hey, Alan, dude, so I just like Trump changing that. Whatever was going on with the technology, I think I just read it. That was 2015 that he did that. Was it
50 right after he got in? Because remember, he gave the big speech on we were going to be first in 5G. He gave that big speech about 5G.
Right. I can see. Okay.
And he was cutting down regulations and bypassing paperwork and bureaucracy and letting people go straight to it. No testing, no checking. Open up.
See, my buddy recently, and I don't know if I brought this up to you, but I believe that if I had you would have had better understanding of what I'm saying here and give me a little more info on it. Now, my buddy said that he worked with a radio company, and then he ended up going to the Army. Now, he's in his 60s. So he went to the Army, the service, and he worked with AM radio, only the AM radio. And now, he said he worked with AM radio. He said whenever they brought in the FM radio, the sound wave, he said that's when television started coming out. He was, and he told me this, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I believe it would be. He was very, very knowledgeable man. He said that the FM part of the television was where the picture came from, the vision of it. And he said in the AM part of it was where the sound came from. And I was like, oh yeah. And he was telling me that the AM does this in the tube, of the wave, the electromagnetic line, it does this, and then the FM does this. And I could be doing it backwards, but I don't think so. And and he said they have to, whatever sound or vision is coming through there, it goes up or expands out. I think it's very interesting though that the radio and the picture both came. It was like they were experimenting. They found the AM radio wave. They found the FM radio wave, and then they started working them together, and we ended up getting television, where we got FM and AM. So they're working off the electromagnetic grid line, and now we're up to 5Gs, Wi-Fi, where now they're able to touch into a frequency that they haven't been able to touch into with these electromagnetic grid lines, AM and FM wave. I'm not sure though, but that's why I wanted your opinion.
Yeah, that's what I always heard. The way I'd heard it explained was they used carrier waves, and that's basically turned out to be hertz. And they figured out the 7.83 hertz or 38 hertz. I always get it backwards. I'm dyslexic. But yeah, that's what they did. They found out that they mesh the AM and the FM 7.3 hertz and carry it, receive it, and however it works, receive it and then transmit it, to the screen. That's what I understand, and as much as I can understand on it. And that they did find a way to mesh the two and and that's what I thought was always so crazy was the 7.38 hertz that the TV put off. And that's what we put off. And that's what the earth puts off. And
oh, we put off a 7.32?
Yeah, we put off the same hertz as the earth. Yeah, you didn't know that?
I thought the Earth was like 2 point. I thought it was like low, like way lower than 7. But I could be okay. You're. I trust you. I trust you on that one 100%.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
We put off 7.3.
Yeah.
Hertz, and the televisions with the FM and AM put off the 7.3.
The tube systems, those old styles, that's what they put off. And that's why we got mesmerized. It put us in a delta state and we were open to suggestion. And then when digital came out, they went to flicker rate. Once they did flicker rate, then that's a whole new ballgame. At least with the do what?
Flicker rate? What?
That's the pixels
and how the
picture comes through. The speed at which each pixel lights up in the picture, it affects your brain.
Is that a real thing, or is that the real word for it? Flicker rate?
Flicker rate. Yeah. Yeah, that's what
I didn't know. You know how we pick words. Either way, go ahead.
Do you remember older movies when you were looking at a computer screen and it had that white line?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Scrolling on it. All the computers had that white line. Well, the camera's shooting in so many frames per second, but those monitors are going so many cycles per second. So the camera's going faster. So you see that in the slower one. That's what you're seeing in those computers. That's their flicker rate or their hertz they were putting off. That's why you see that white line going up and down. Now you don't see that. When in newer movies, when somebody walks up to a computer screen, you don't see that white roll. You just don't see it anymore.
Right.
Because it's all digital now.
What is the I was watching the eclipse with my friend Willow. Willow's always around when something cool happens. And so I was watching the eclipse, and we were looking at it. We were looking straight at it. We don't put no glasses on or nothing. We ain't dead. We didn't burn up. You know what I mean? Burn. And but it just so happens that we had been cleaning this house behind us, and there was this huge white mattress that we had pulled out of the house. So I had it leaned up against the porch. So while the eclipse was happening, I just so happened to turn around and I seen that mattress. And on the mattress was like the snow that you see on television, the older ones, the whenever a picture was bad or something and had that snow, the white noise. But it was wave like. It wasn't, and it was really light. It wasn't like bright, it was I grabbed her, and was like, look, and she turned and looked and she seen it too. That was like 5 years ago. That changed my whole thought process on what's going on around us. Like I've seen the waves. I've seen the electromagnetism right before my eyes. And what was happening on that mattress was happening all around us. And it just so happened to be this white board that I was able to see that beauty, of understanding of, hey, this is all around us. Like, this is what they're working. This is what is being used to work this technology, but also inside of us. This is going in us. What is this? Very interesting stuff. Hertz.
Yeah. Hertz and flicker rate and colors.
But somehow
the frequency from colors. Why are all the biggest companies' logos red, yellow, red, white, and blue? Because those frequencies are I guess you call them the major frequencies that catch your eye, that do what they're supposed to do. And that's why if you look at all the top logos of the top companies, they have certain shapes and colors in all of them. It's all meant, it all has a purpose.
Somehow they
got influences.
They synthetically made the white noise, like in the television. Somehow that is synthetically been made, and you talking about us having the same frequency 7.3 and the televisions having the same frequency at 7.3. Of course it would be something that would resonate right inside of us. If the white noise is something that is actually around us, our eyes actually see this, but we don't see it, just like there's light that comes through these phones that happen, we don't see that light, but it really is happening. It's freaking bright, shining all over, so I just wonder, the spell being so deep, frequency being like water, and the vibration inside of you coming from the television. Dude, it's amazing.
I don't know. I don't know. That's crazy, right? And they know they had all the secret knowledge. They know about the frequency. They know how to use it all. They've been using it. They even memorialized a lot of their work, and wrote in-depth papers on it. They got patents on their machines, that work through television. Did you ever look up the story of the founder of Hulu? I told you about that guy.
I know you did.
In the 70s, he started with a patent for TV sets that would use frequency to influence the person watching it. And like his first patent, it took him like 3 years to get it. And then he came along with another one to add to this one, and it took maybe a year. And then he got 11 in a row that were basically just like rubber stamped. He got them through, boom, 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 boom. And they basically saying them, it's a device to use to influence audiences through TV. That's what it's for. And when you watch Hulu, you need to know you're under that influence. They're using a frequency and a flicker rate to completely, get your mind in a delta state. That's what Hulu is. When you look up their patents, and Hulu is a patent, look it up, and that's what it says right there. It's right there, plain straight up. All their early commercials had this serpent coming out around the person's neck, and them always joking about, people say we're evil. People say we're doing things, to manipulate minds, and they're just mocking it. They're mocking us and telling us straight out that, yeah, we are. Watch us and see. Look up Hulu commercials with like Alec Baldwin and different people. They're creepy, and they're telling you straight up, we're doing this.
Right. And you're right about, they use the sound waves and the light waves and the colors. And if you'll notice, when you go into Hulu commercials, if you'll go into like websites, especially government websites and stuff, all the ads on the side and on the bottom, they have the same colors. The feed will change the colors with, however far down you go, the colors will change with the feed on both sides, with all the ads. Very, very deceptive for the eyes. People don't realize those things really do something inside of your body, with our eyes laying upon these things.
Right.
Hulu commercials.
Yeah, if you had never seen that stuff, man, that was freaky when I saw that, because Hulu had just come out right after, earlier when I looked up all this stuff and saw this about it, and I was going to put it on my TV. Hey, man, free streaming services for movies. It was free. It's totally free. You didn't have to pay nothing.
Yeah, I know, right? Right.
Yeah, and I was like, why wouldn't I? And then I look at all this stuff and I'm like, well, that's why it's free. I'm going to end up buying shit from them I don't want, and I have no control over it. They're going to have me brainwashed. They're going to have me watching stuff I don't even know about, I don't care about. Yeah, if you notice, Hulu's a free service on everything now. You buy these new TVs and they have the apps to all these things on them. And all you have to do is click on that Hulu app and it'll bring you everything you want. It's crazy.
Of course it will.
Uh-oh, got a cleaner out.
Oh no, my little incense.
Oh, incense. Oh, I thought that was a poker. Well, we're at an hour and 11 minutes, Ashes. Everybody's getting up and around here, so I'm gonna let you go. Sweet. Everybody,
okay. Y'all have a blessed day.
Good intentions, good discernment. Love y'all. Later.